Welcome back. I found this video of Candace Owens. She's speaking at the Turning Point USA's Young Women's Summit. I watched it. Kristen hasn't seen it yet, so I want to get your reaction on it. So let's get it started.
The last thing that I am going to say, strangely, this is such a crazy story, but as I was headed in here, I got a frantic call from somebody. They did. They called me and they said, Candace, something very weird is happening. The Daily Wire has sent somebody secretly to record you, an intern, a PR intern, to secretly record you, to catch you in a bad moment, in a bad light. And I think that intern's name, no, to be fair, it is never the fault of a person when their employer is sending them to do something that isn't good. But I would really love it if Ariana stood up. Yeah. Okay, maybe that's a little too intimidating for you too, but apparently she got an email at 10 p.m., hopped on a plane, is pretending to be a student. And so I do just want to say to Ben Shapiro, enough. Come out into the light. Really, come on. Let's do this debate. Stop sending interns to do your dirty work. I don't bite. I'm down for the debate. Charlie Kirk says he will fly you out. He will fly you out next week to Detroit, and we can do the debates on his stage. Thank you, Turning Point USA. Let's take some questions.
So, if you don't know, Candace Owens used to work for Daily Wire. She's left the Daily Wire. She had an altercation with Ben Shapiro. She made a comment about Crisis King. Ben Shapiro didn't like it. They had a little tiff. She ended up leaving. So the story is that Candace has an NDA where she can't speak, or a gag
Regarding the
order or
issue,
whatever.
yeah.
She can't speak, and she's been trying to get Ben to debate her. Ben will only do it if it's at something that he can control, his studio, on his show, or whatever. So apparently, it looks like he's trying to catch her talking about something that she shouldn't, so they don't have to pay her. So, what's your thoughts?
It's kind of wild. I think she's got a good staff because she got that intel quickly, which is,
Well,
I know she knows what she's doing. She's been doing this for a while, and
right.
I know that she's spoken about this some, and we've watched some of it.
This goes back to some stuff that was said that Candace was hard to work with.
Oh yeah, I remember that email.
This just proves that it's not true, because someone from the Daily Wire tipped her off. So she's still got friends. She was,
that makes sense.
She's treated her people well, according to her, and she even, some of the people that have said some bad things about her, actually left the Daily Wire and went with her.
I was going to say that. I was like,
Yeah,
I'm wondering if she has staff that went with her,
Mhm.
like a Jerry Maguire moment,
Right.
Who's coming with me kind of a thing, maybe. Who knows? And then, so, they came with her, but they worked among other staff that worked for the Daily Wire, so I'm sure they still communicate. And there's probably, can you imagine their conversations? They're probably like, this is so ridiculous, this whole thing between Ben and Candace. It's really ridiculous. And you kind of, okay, so initially when I was watching this, I thought it was really funny that she called the girl out, like, when she stand up. I'm thinking she's not going to stand up. And
straight up called her out.
Yeah. But, if this is true, which I can't imagine her doing that if it's not, but you wonder if this, we haven't seen an actual tiff or altercation between them in person.
Nope. Nope.
There's never been any kind of video or any kind of audio, whether it be on the phone or even a thread that I've seen.
No, nope.
It's always
Well,
been okay. So there is something.
They did have some words back and forth on X.
Okay.
They did.
Yeah, I do remember that. It was like a
yeah.
while back. I do
Right.
remember that whenever all the Crisis King stuff had come out.
Right.
And I feel like with everything going on with Israel, you know, I think people are just, their emotions are heightened, especially if they're Jewish, especially if they're, you know, him being Orthodox Jew, which is, you know, it's different, you know? And so I don't know. I just find it strange. I find it strange, the whole thing that, you know, it wasn't like it's not like he didn't know that she was a Christian whenever
right.
they brought her in at the Daily Wire. And it's not like, I just feel like that's strange. It's not like she went on her show or went and representing the Daily Wire was saying these things. Even if she did, it's still her show.
Yep.
Because she had her own show before she even went there. It's not like they help, you know, she was a nobody, and like they just gave her a platform and helped build her up and turn her into a star. No, she was already well known. And I feel like the way he went about it in the videos that he did about her initially, which I don't know if you haven't seen those, I'm sure you could just Google Ben Shapiro talking about Candace Owens. It was obviously he didn't realize he was being filmed. It was a private event. He didn't know he was on camera. It wasn't like he was. I think for him, maybe he thought he was in a private.
I think he was at work. It was at work. He was the one video that I'm thinking of.
I'm not the one where he's standing on the table.
Yeah, I think that was a work event. He was talking.
That was a work event?
He was talking with his employees.
Oh, well, maybe I got it wrong. But anyway,
I think I could be wrong, but
it's been a while. I need to watch it again, I guess, so I can be abreast for this conversation or this video. But it is really interesting, though, how it's played out. How it's taken this long, and they haven't had any kind of real communication. You know, as far as, because I would be like, okay, we're done. Let's move on. You know what I mean? Like, okay, she's left the Daily Wire. She's going on her own. She's doing her own thing. Like, I don't understand why this continuing to drag it out. It just seems very silly. So part of me is kind of like, is this publicity stunt? Is this just to stir things up and make things interesting and be relevant and current? Is it being kind of over dramatized? Is it that big of a deal, really? I mean, yeah, they didn't see eye to eye, and they clearly didn't jive on a few things, and that can cause, you know, a toxic work environment. It doesn't work. It's incompatibility, you know, just like, you know, irreconcilable differences or whatever it is. You know, you're like, okay, well, we tried, it didn't work, and so thanks, but I'm moving on. And it doesn't seem like a clean break. It doesn't seem like that's happened. And I'm just like, why? I just find it really strange. I don't see the benefit for either of them other than publicity.
Yeah.
So it kind of makes you wonder. But I still think if this is true, I think it's wrong for him to send someone to spy on her. Like, why would he do that? That's weird.
So I'm sure we'll see.
Unless there's something in this, you know, non-disclosure agreement that she can't say that he's worried about.
Maybe.
And that kind of makes you wonder.
Well, it just kind of goes back to what back whenever Steven Crowder was talking to him about. And then he backed out because of the contract. He didn't agree with how they structured the contract, and Candace just gave him hell about it.
Yeah, she did. And I was like,
now she's kind of
seeing,
she's getting a little bit of on herself. Kind of karma's
maybe. And I feel like sometimes, which I didn't like, I like Candace, but I didn't really care for how she went after Crowder about that, because I didn't think that he was being ugly about it. I think he was just being very transparent and just letting people know this is why.
Yep.
And I think that it goes to his principles and how he feels that, you know, if someone is really working hard and trying to create something, that it should be theirs.
Yeah.
And I agree. I mean, I think that's, totally. It's one thing to have, you know, some kind of a structure like, hey, you know, we're helping you. So we're, you know, there has to be some guidelines. There has to be some boundaries there. I understand. Especially if you are incurring a lot of the cost and the time or whatever, and someone else is benefiting from it and they're able to have an opportunity, then yeah, it needs to be fair. It needs to be a win-win for both parties. I agree. But I don't know. It was just kind of strange. I think she should have stayed out of it, to be honest. But I think she was trying to bat for them. And, she was trying to, because she was new on the Daily Wire at that point. And I think that she was just trying to, be in their good graces and be team Daily Wire. And now she's seeing that, because I don't know. It's kind of weird. The whole situation is very strange.
Well, it'd be interesting to see what happens after this, but I don't know. I thought this was pretty
No, it
good.
is, and I didn't even realize there was a Turning Point USA Young Women's Conference.
So I think it was in
I'll have to check that out.
Either Houston or San Antonio, and it was I think this past weekend.
Okay.
So anyway, but anyway, I just wanted to bring this video, show Chris
see what's going on.
I thought it
that
was
is
good,
it's funny,
but
it's funny that she called her out. I think that's funny. I wish she would have stood up. That would have been really good.
Yeah, it would have been good. Well, anyway, I think this is going to be it for this one. Thank you for watching, and like always, if you like this kind of content, please like, share, and subscribe. Comment if you will.
Yes.
Let us know what you think. But anyway, we sure appreciate you watching. And until the next time, we'll see you.
Thank you.